What's up, everyone? Coach Angie here with another conversation with Coach Angie. And my guest today is Dr. Akmal Muwakil. I'm so happy to have him join me again this October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We are discussing today breast and reproductive health. I'm constantly asked uh, about these, well, not breasts, but definitely always, what can I do about my fibroids and how they make me feel when I work out, or how they make me feel when I eat certain foods. So Dr. Akmal is going to come on and he's going to talk to us because he is well versed, over 40 years of experience in women's health. So we're going to get all the nuggets today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them, and I will do my best to get him to answer those questions. And without further ado, please help me welcome Dr. Akmal. Welcome again, Dr. Akmal. Good to see you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and thank you to your audience who could have been someplace else doing something else at this particular time, but they decided that they wanted to listen to us and see what we had to say.
Yes,
So I
thank
thank
you all
them.
for joining.
I thank them as
Absolutely.
well. You know, and
Yes.
so, how are you doing?
I'm managing. It's a rough day today. Today's my mommy's birthday.
Oh,
Her and it's been a little rough, and I know we talk a lot about grief during this time of year, so I'm
right.
trying to cleanse it and handle it the best way that I can. But
Understood.
other than that, I'm doing well.
Good.
How are
All
you?
right. That's a good thing. Listen, God
Yeah.
got it, and I'm walking it. That's all I know. Ain't nothing else I can
Amen.
do with that.
Amen.
But it is the season of grief,
Mhm.
and when you grieve, you create a stagnation of energy in the chest, and that energy then begins to affect your lungs. But as women, it also affects your breast. And what I want to kind of emphasize on is the factor that we understand what NIH and the Mayo Clinic and Brigham's and all of them are saying about breast cancer, what it is, how it is, what they're going to do with it. I want to put a different spin on it. I want to take a look at it as a couple of things. One is energy, because that's the way I teach it. And the other is from a traditional Chinese perspective. See, because when you start looking at it from a Chinese perspective, then you look at it totally different. That's like we look at it from emotions. So, well, that's one of the places we look at it from. So, the fact is that let's say that you have somebody who is depressed, or you have somebody who is anxious or angry, and it's a woman. And so, as that fire grows in her liver because of her emotion, the fire grows. It's like if you ever been at a or you have a fireplace in your house, when the fire starts to go out, you start putting more wood to it to keep it fired. Well, with that whole piece there, the piece of that is the fact that now what happens is that the fire within the liver. Think about you having a pot of water on the stove and the steam rising. Well, your liver, our liver is under, for women, it's under your right breast. Okay. And so it sits kind of right behind it. And so that heat now has a tendency to rise up into the breast. If there's stagnation, because of the factor that there's anger, jealousy, hatred, frustration, then what happens is that heat can get stuck in her breast. And when it gets stuck in her breast, it then starts to turn into toxic heat. One of the reasons it turns into toxic heat, because and she doesn't have to be doing this, but a lot of women who have breast cancer do. She's eating foods that are not nutritionally dense enough for her body. So because she's eating these foods and foods, that are adulterated, foods that have been processed, eating foods out, that kind of thing. So what that does is that contributes to the adipose tissue. And so the adipose tissue and that heat, and the adipose tissue are the tissues, are the fatty tissues of the body. And in the woman's breast, there are many of them. Okay. And so it gets in there and they get to struggling, and the fire wins. And when the fire wins, it now starts to think about you put some butter or some lard, because some people still use lard now. They shouldn't, but they do. Okay, but you put you put something in there that's solid so that it melts. Well, that's the same scenario that happens when you start to look at how the heat came up and how it started to spread out. Okay, and it's spreading out just like the melting of let's say butter, okay, in the hot pan. So as it spreads out, more heat begins to rise and roam in that area. And as that continues to happen, now you have that toxic heat, and now you have fire. And that heat and that fire is what now begins to cause breast cancer. Along with the emotion that came in, any of those emotions, a lack of joy, okay, impatience can cause it. You see, I mean, so folks need to look at the emotions and how their emotions can get balanced in regards to where they are, because of the fact that it sits right in the middle of your chest. The emotions for the heart, for instance, is joy and impatience. And so now joy can be a deterrent, just like can be wonderful, because of the factor that if you become too joyous, you create excess. So that joy from the excess could cause. That's why sometimes, someone gives you something or do something for you, and you just break out crying because of happiness. Okay, so that's excessive joy. Okay, and so when you start looking at it in that manner, what begins to happen is that you begin to understand how your emotions start to affect your body. Your
Are
emotions,
you saying that excessive joy can cause health issues?
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. That's just like people who are um what's the word? Dang, it came in and went out. It'll come back. But yeah, each set of organs, and this is the piece that I teach in the class. I just started a women's class that happens once a month, and people can still register for it. Um, but but when you start to understand the organ network, okay, which is different than the Western system, what you begin to find is how emotions start to decrease or increase the ability of an organ to function to its optimum. Okay, that's like sympathy. That's what I was looking at. So if you have somebody who's over sympathy, they may have issues losing weight. Okay, because the emotion of sympathy has to do with the spleen. The spleen and the stomach have to do with is the beginning process of digestion. And so like in women, when men is part when menstruation is happening, the spleen is functioning because its job is to in Chinese medicine is to make red blood cells and extract nutrients from the foods. And it doesn't like dampness. When you put in dampness as cookies, cakes, pies, greasy food, those kinds of things, what happens is that it starts to block the ability of the spleen to do its job. So now, like for instance, that's why cravings happen during cycling. Okay, because the spleen say, and most of the time it's something sweet. And so people listen, and so women will go towards sweets during that time because of the factor that the spleen is out of balance. That's why also women become tired. Okay, in the piece with menopause, it's more of the liver.
Okay.
So the piece is that being able to understand the organs and how they function in terms of emotions has a devastation on how well your body can heal. See, and in Asian medicine, Chinese medicine, which I'm an acupuncturist, that's how we treat people. That's like I have people send me their tongue. Okay, four pictures of their tongue. Why? Because your tongue is part of that whole system, and it tells me exactly what's going on in your body. You see, I mean, so when we start to look at it, and we start to look at it in that manner, we now look at the factor that now we want to put the fire out in the liver, or on the other side is the stomach. The stomach don't like heat. So if the stomach gets too hot, it does the same thing. So now you can have cancer in your right breast, in your left breast, because of the factor of the stomach. So the piece that I tell people, I would tell women in regards to that is this: eat foods in season. Okay? Stay away from foods that have heavy pesticides, herbicides, additives, preservatives, because of the factor that those are chemicals that float within the adipose tissue. Okay, and the adipose tissue, as I said earlier, is the fatty tissue of the body, and so it has it can cling to that, and so when it clings to that, that's what causes you to spread out. Okay, and so the piece of that is being able to have an understanding of how to eat to live and not live to eat. We're the only animals in God's kingdom that really don't know how to eat. We really don't know how to eat. We eat anything and everything anytime that we feel that we want to, at any hour of the day or night, and in any combination from any season. And so the body gets confused about that. And I'm often talking about, eating foods within their season. This is the season. If women have fibroids, if women are consistently having, and not to be disrespectful to you women listening, but yeast infections, overweight, okay, bloating, all of those, this is time to clean your system. One of the things I say would be fasting. If you can't fast and you got things like diabetes, I would say to you then what you should do is you should eat certain foods and stay away from certain other foods and take herbs, because of the fact that when you clean your body in that manner, and especially as a woman, it creates a balance within inside of your body, so that during those special times of the month, or it keeps you from having your own personal summer. And so the piece of that is that be able to cleanse your body, eat foods in season.
Let's talk about those foods and seasons, Dr. Akmal. Let's talk about the foods that are in season right now. We're in fall, so let's talk about it.
So as we're in fall, you're talking about root vegetables. Okay. So root vegetables are like beets. Now beets are gonna be cleansing. They're gonna lower the blood pressure, and because of their color, they're gonna invigorate the blood so that the blood is able to cleanse the body.
Mm-hmm.
You want to also eat them tops, because when you eat beet tops, not only do you get the iron and the other nutrients that you need from it, like manganese and selenium, but you also get from it um, bioflavonoids. Okay, and bioflavonoids are elements that reduce the ability to have cancer. I mean, like I said in my class, I get into that, and right now I can't. That's a long subject that you can get into.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you want to kind of eat things like celery, okay? Because celery is going to balance the electrolytes. It's going to bring your blood pressure down too, because it's going to balance the sodium and the potassium. So the electrolytes are balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you want to be able to eat grains, brown rice,
Greens
black rice, huh?
or grains?
Grains,
Mm-hmm.
brown rice, black rice, quinoa. Um, what's the other one I wanted? Um, those are a few of them. But if folks go to my website, they can find the food chart there. You want to
Mm-hmm.
put in green vegetables and cruciferous vegetables. Now, the issue with cruciferous vegetables is this, and I think I've said this before in your platform. When you eat cruciferous vegetables, which are broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, when you eat those particular foods, if you have hypothyroidism, you should not eat a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
or often, because what they do is they block thyroxine. Thyroxine is the hormone um, of the thyroid. Okay, so the thyroxine gets blocked. Now you have a more drastic kind of thing going on than you
Mm-hmm.
did before. Okay, so that would be one of the things I would say about that. But outside of that,
Okay.
you will eat those because of the factor that, again, you're talking about cleansing the body. When you start looking at eating foods that are in season, okay, what you're looking at is you're looking at being able to eat foods that will nourish your body during that particular time. See, because if we don't deal with it in a particular time and a particular season, what begins to happen is that some of the foods that we think that are healthy for us now are starting to turn sour towards us, because of the fact that the digestive tract isn't functioning to its optimum in the manner that it should, in regards to that food that you're taking in. It's just like the weather. It's just like the tree. The tree, in the summer, in the spring, the sap starts to rise up in the tree, and the tree springs out, and you got leaves and
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of thing. Well, in the autumn, that sap starts to come back down that tree, go right into the root system. Okay. And as it does that, the tree gets rejuvenated. Well, our digestive tract does the same thing. Absolutely, it does the same kind of thing. See, so when you're looking at that, and when you're moving in that light and understand that, then you understand the factor that what you should take in and what you shouldn't take in. And
Yeah.
in dealing with that, you'll find that your body's healthier. That's like barley. And especially as it gets cool, that barley
Mm-hmm.
is going to go in. It's going to give you a bunch of B vitamins, which is going to help your central nervous system. It's going to be fiber, and so it's going to push out waste on you, and it's going to give you other like magnesium, those kinds of things, especially if you got diabetes or something of that nature. Barley is one of the pieces that's good for you, because of the fact that it's going to go in and give you the nutrients that you need. I mean, so when you start looking at that, work that into such a way where your body functions on it. The other piece of that is the factor that we just got finished eating stone fruit. Okay, peaches, plums, pears, mangoes. Mangoes are out because, well, mangoes should not be eaten, even though they're resurfacing. They should not be eaten because of the fact that they're a tropical fruit. Now, if you're gonna use
plums were in season. Plums are not in season, right? Are plums in season?
They're going out of season.
Okay.
Okay. Stone fruit have a short window.
So can I finish my plums then? I mean,
yeah, I would suggest that you do. I would suggest that you do. But in a minute, you're gonna see that they're not on the shelf any longer.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to finish the ones I bought.
Yep,
and then I want to talk about what fruits I should be eating now in season that are in season.
So some of the fruits that's in season, apples. Matter of fact, I'm breaking my fast, and so I've been eating apples the last couple of days.
Okay.
Blackberries, and blackberries, blueberries, gooseberries. Those kinds of things are good because they do several things. One is they provide antioxidants, and then the other is that they provide cleansing and changing the characteristics of the blood with their antioxidants and that kind of thing, and that keeps us away from that big C, because that big C could be a piece. Pears are in season, and you have several different kinds of pears that's out there that's in season. Grapes, and now grapes. You want to eat grapes with seeds in them, and most of the time you're gonna find global grapes. You might find some other kinds of grapes, Concord, or Muscadine. You might find some of them, but most of them you're gonna find is global with seeds in them. Now, the issue with that is this. Excuse me. The issue with that is.
Keep talking. I'm going to find my. I'll keep talking. I'll be right back.
The issue with that. The issue with that is the fact that when you eat those grapes come from Chile. And if my facts are right, you can look it up. I wish you would, because it's been in my head for a while. But in the 70s, there was a pesticide that was being used called DDTs. And the United States said we no longer can use that here. And so they banned DDTs from here in the US. But what happened is that, we a capitalist country. We like that money. So what happened is that we sold it to them foreign countries like Chile. And so they use it on their crops. And so when they sell it to us, we still getting the DDTs. Okay. Which is a pesticide that is toxic. All right. So the piece of that is the fact that, and there's been some experiments where, and one of the things that I do with them is I wash them in hydrogen peroxide. Okay, 3% hydrogen, food grade peroxide. Working to get some of what's on there off before it goes into my body and my body starts screaming at me. I ain't liking that when my body's screaming at me. So that's that's the piece that you want to deal with. The other part of that is that women should, and in my course I talk about the factor of understanding your blood type, because you should understand your blood type, because when you understand your blood type, then you understand the fuel that fuels your body. See, when we don't understand our blood type, then what happens is that we can't give our body exactly everything it needs. You know, your car,
Right.
you put the gas and the oil in there that they tell you to put in there. You don't put
Yeah.
something else in there. You see, and so the piece of that is that we have to do the same thing for our body. That's like fibroids. Fibroids is, I talked about the factor that breast cancer is about heat. Well, fibroids is about coldness. Fibroids is about a cold uterus, stagnation within her uterus, and so that's what we call a blood mass. There's two different masses, and again, I teach about this. There's two different masses that women have. They have blood mass, and then they have a chi mass. Chi mass is an energy mass. That's like a cyst. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A blood mass is like a fibroid or a clot. Those are blood mass. And so the piece is that women have those two elements happening within their body. And so the fibroid is a blood mass, but it's cold. Okay. And so one of the things that I do with women is that I introduce them how to heat that up first off, and get chi moving within that area. But the other part of that is that now you have to change your foods, and you have to take certain herbs so that it starts to break that down. Uh, and then the other piece of that is the fact that there's been a lot of women who have had myomectomies. Myomectomy is when they remove the fibroids. In some cases, they give you a hysterectomy where they take out your uterus. And so when you have a myomectomy and those fibroids grow back, I always ask women who come to see me or who I work in to treat, who's living in your womb? See, because that's an emotion that's living in your womb. So if you understand that as an emotion that lives in your womb, then you begin to figure out how to get that person out of your womb. See? Because of the fact of that when you go and have them cut out, they come back. Why do they come back? But also, let me say this here, also, because somebody might be shaking their head. Also, you got to change your behavior.
Right.
You see, you got to change your behavior, because if you don't change your behavior, then anything can come back to you.
Right. Right. So
And
give us a couple ways that we can begin to warm up the fibroid
well,
or
round.
warm up the uterus.
So that would be where you would start to round rub your abdomen. Okay. For women, if your audience on Saturday mornings, I do the Elder Suite, and it's a half an hour qigong. It starts at 8:30, 8 o'clock, and it ends at 8:30. During that session, I introduce how to do round rubbing, how to use certain points on the body. So if you start to, or just hold your abdomen, hold your pelvis, and send energy in there. Okay. There's like I said, there's a piece that I teach, this round rubbing. There's another piece that I teach that has to do with you going in and breaking it and working to really break that fibroid up. And I've seen women who have successfully worked that piece out, whose fibroids left naturally. So I mean, it's a lot of different things, but the piece that I would say first off is start to round rub your abdomen, and just go in a circular motion from the top of your ribs, to your, so you're rubbing here. You're rubbing just like this here. Okay. That's it. And now come back counterclockwise. See, because when you do that, you're actually stimulating the uterus. And now just do this here. See, bring it across.
Y'all doing this with us? Get that uterus on point.
So that you got energy moving in there. And then right around here, right around where the ribs are, just do this. Because right up underneath that rib, on this side is you have your liver, and on this side you have your stomach, spleen, and pancreas. And so those are some of the exercises that I give, besides having points that women can use to do several different things. One is reduce and or eliminate pain, and that's if they're going through their cycle and they have pain. The other is to reduce hot flashes. Actually to eliminate hot flashes, bring your blood pressure down, balance your heart. I mean, those are the kinds of things that women should learn. Those are the kinds of things that I'm teaching, which comes from which is Tui Na. And Tui Na is traditional Chinese body work. It's the foundation of chiropractics, osteopath, massage therapy, and body work we see. It's over 5,000 years old, and it's used in China and in Cuba in the hospital systems. So it's used in Asia and in Cuba, and it's used, and it's very good for women's health. I've been using it for years for women's health, and so it's something for people to have an understanding and learn. All right.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I want you all to go to drakmalspeaks.com and get his list of foods to eat for the season, right? Because all of those foods, right, they help with breast and reproductive, right, Dr. Akmal?
Mm-hmm.
Get the full list of eating for seasons. Take in all the things that he said. Watch this video again because he's giving you lots and lots of nuggets. But he'll be back in 2 weeks to give more. Join his class, his women's class. Just join his Qigong Saturday classes. All you have to do is fill out a Zoom link, and you can go for free. I think at 8:30 or 9 is 8:30 on
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. He gives a free Qigong class. Remember, I wanted to ask you this one thing though, Dr. Akmal, the round rubbing for your abs, that also helps with digestion, right? Like it helps you eliminate.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it aids in that, you all. And if you watch the video again, he'll show you different ways to rub your abdomen and kind of get the chi broken up in there so that you can, get that digestive tract going, because most diseases start there, right? In our bellies and our liver area. So it goes down to our reproductive system. Go ahead. You're going to say something.
No, I said absolutely. What
Oh,
you
yeah.
were saying, absolutely.
So all the things that I'm saying to you, I learned from Dr. Akmal. I'm not speaking it because I know it, because I learned it, and I myself deal with fibroids, and he's taught me things to help, and it really does help because I haven't had any issues. The liquid iron was amazing. I still take it. I did want you to speak about the fasting because you mentioned fasting. I wanted to know if these fruits these vegetables and fruits that you spoke to us about, can we use those in our fasting and how long should we fast?
So the fasting process, first off, I don't tell people how long to fast because I don't want to be in your head like that. I say 14 days and you get to 7 and you say, oh my God, I got 7 more days to go. Oh my God. So I don't get in people's heads like that. Right. The fasting and the way I have people fast is that, you determine how many days you want to fast. Because you might say, well, I'm gonna do 5, and you get to 5 and say, I feel so good, I'm gonna do another 5. So that's up to you. The way that I suggest that you fast, and this is the way that I package it for people, is that you take 7 days and you begin to withdraw from food so that you don't
Mhm.
shock the body. On that eighth day, you start to drink juice. Each day that you take something out, you're drinking juices to replace the foods that you're eating. On the eighth day, you're drinking nothing but juice. Let's say you do 5 days. So 5 days, you're drinking juice, water, and taking herbs.
Mhm.
On the on that sixth day of the fast, you would eat maybe an apple, okay, but you're still drinking juices. So for the next 5 days, you'd be gradually going back to eating. That way you don't shock
Mhm.
the body. That way you don't have pain, gas, and none of that. Because if you break that fast wrong, trust me from experience. Oh my God, you'll think you're gonna die. When you
Mhm.
start to deal with fasting, what you're basically doing is putting your body back on track. Why? Because of the fact that what the fasting does is the fasting stops digestion. And that's what
Okay.
you want to do sometimes. You want to stop digestion. Because,
Now explain that. Why?
okay, because of the fact that as we roll around the planet, digestion is off. The majority of our health issues is because of malabsorption of nutrients, which
Mhm.
now gives us malnutrition. That's like, and no offense to anybody who's listening, that's like I always say, there's no fat people in the world. There are people who are overweight or over waste, and I do a program called It's Not Weight, It's Waste, over waste, okay? Because of the fact that their body is not absorbing the nutrients from the foods they're eating, and it's making them have malnutrition. And the
Mhm.
malnutrition, instead of them going skinny, they're actually blowing up. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you start looking at it in that manner, what you're looking at is you're looking at the fact that if digestion is where it needs to be, then we don't have the illnesses that we have. First off, just think about it. When's the last time you saw a gorilla in the emergency room? You know, or the giraffe roll up in CVS and get some antihistamines because of the fact that they got clogged up head. You never see that. Okay, but why did it happen to us? It happens to us because of the fact that we don't know how to eat. We don't know
Yeah.
how to maintain the balance of the body. People who own dogs, you might have seen your dog when he got sick, he either go rolling in the grass, start eating the grass, or something of that nature. Why? Because instinctively they know how to take care of themselves. That's why I teach self-care. Okay,
Yeah.
because of the fact that we need to understand how to take care of ourselves. And
Yeah.
so and so when you stop digestion, a couple of things happen. One is the body starts to eat on itself. The other is that it rebalances the digestive system. Okay. If you're going to fast, do not fast only on water over 3 days
Mhm.
because the toxins that's coming out of your body need something to buffer them so that you don't feel sick. The other piece of that is the factor that when you do decide to fast, make sure several things. One, you don't have diabetes. Okay? Because from my side of the table, there are some people who say diabetics can fast. I don't put diabetics on a fast. I have a different kind of process for them to go through in order to make that
Mhm.
happen. But the other piece of that is the factor that when you start to fast, not only does it shut down the digestive system, but it starts to clean out the body and the cells start to really rejuvenate themselves. That's like after 3 days, you flying high like you didn't smoke something. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, seriously, but that's because of the fact that what has happened and what you've done is you've given the cells energy that they've been lacking for because of the fact that you stopped digestion.
Mm.
The most important part, as I said earlier, of fasting is breaking that fast. Because let's say that you fasted for 5 days, and on that 6th day you went out and had a ball. You ate everything that you could, right? And then on that next day, oh, your bowels don't move. You're bloated. You got a headache. Your abdomen, and then what would happen is that the fast would have got blamed for that. No, you got to break the fast systematically. See, because when I first started fasting, I started fasting back in 1974, and a guy and a brother had given me the book Back to Eden, and so with the Back to Eden piece, I thought I was a pro. I read the book and I said I'm going for it, and I don't remember how many days I did. I think I did 21, but when I broke it with pickled cauliflower and almonds.
Oh,
Oh my God. I thought I was going to die. I
wow.
had, I had so much gas and I had so much pain in my abdomen. I was like, oh my God. And it lasted for about a day and a half. I mean, it was bad. And then, when I farted, woo, that ran the house out the house.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, because of the fact that now you taking them chemistries and all them chemistries is mixing like this here. So I warn you,
Okay.
I warn you, if you fast, if you fast, breaking that fast is very, 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 very important.
Okay. Thank you so much for all of the nuggets. Like my head is exploding always when I talk to you. I still feel like we need to go deeper when we talk again. Just to give people like a play by play as much as we can. But make sure also, you go to drakmalspeaks.com, sign up for his classes, his self care classes, sign up for Qigong, which is free on Saturdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and get the list of foods to eat in season. We are in fall. So we're leaving those summer foods behind. Make sure you get the list and then like write things down about how you feel when you changed over from the way you've been eating to eating in season. Because we women know that most of us, especially those that are in menopause, perimenopause, feeling the differences in our bodies, we know we're walking around not feeling well. We don't know why, and we're not saying anything to anybody. Well, this amazing human being is coming on to share with us. He's not a woman, but he has over 40 years of experience in women's health, and he knows what we're going through. And that's why I love for him to be on my platform, because you all are my community. I want to help you. And so I want Dr. Akmal to leave us with 3 things we can do today to start, that of course that's doable, that's easy to start, uh, to get our breast health and our reproductive health in order to start.
So the first thing I would say is, and folks will hear me say this often, go get you some digestive enzymes. That's the first thing I would say. Second thing I would say is go get you some probiotics. Okay, those two are going to create digestion for you. That's going to help you to reduce and or eliminate digestive issues. The next thing I would say is to eat foods in season. Okay, because of the factor that it's going to give you what you need in regards to the minerals and the vitamins and those kinds of things. And then I would look at the factor of how do you feel about you in your life at this particular time? You see. because that determines as to whether or not you want to create healing or you just want to think you want to create healing. And then, love yourself.
Amen. Love yourself. I love that.
Not being egotistical, but just love yourself. Because
Mm-hmm.
love is a powerful healer, but we have to understand it.
Yeah.
And the basis of that is the fact that you have to understand love for you, because if you don't understand love for you, then anything can come to you saying it's love, and it may not be.
Ooh. Oh, let's go, Dr. Akmal.
So be well,
I hope
enjoy.
y'all heard that one. That was huge.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you being here today, as always. You all, Dr. Akmal is the man, and he is out here healing, helping women to understand their bodies so that they can self-heal, and not feel like anything that a doctor tells them is the end all. Because, our body is designed to heal itself as long as we know how to work this system and work this beautiful, beautiful um body. I'll just say that that God has given us. It's very intricate. It's filled with all kinds of amazingness, and we see it every day. Cut your finger and you watch it. You don't even watch it heal. It just heals.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we can carry men inside of our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We carry men inside of our bodies. Do you ever think about that? Like we grow male, we, we grow male sexual parts in our bodies.
Right.
That that's amazing. So love yourself, like you said, and stay tuned because he'll be back in 2 weeks, hopefully. And me and Dr. Akmal, we're going to put together something for you all, some type of retreat so that he can be here or we can be there in the flesh to really get our bodies under control, our minds, our emotions, everything that goes into truly healing. We're going to do that. And I'm putting it out there right now, Dr. Akmal.
All right. I hear you. I'm just just fill me in on the details and let's see where we go.
I will. Oh, we're gonna talk about it. But without anything further, you can, as always, I like you to just end the show with whatever you want to say.
So as you walk your journey, understand that it's your journey, not anybody else's. And understand that the people that come into your life are people that come into your life to introduce you to you. And it's not about them, but it's truly about you. Be well, enjoy your life as you peacefully walk in health. Mudupe.
Bye. See you
See
next
you.
time, everyone.
Amen. Amen.